Hey, my name's James Nicholson, and in this video I expect a lot of interesting comments because I'm going to talk about why rent caps are not good for tenants just as much as they're not good for landlords. Now, this YouTube channel is all about my investment journey, and I want to invite you along on that journey together. We're currently building out my portfolio, which we'll show you all the behind the scenes on, and I'm building a portfolio for my two daughters, Georgia, who's 21. We've already got 2 properties this year. You can see on the channel all the good, the bad, and the ugly on how that went. And we're building a portfolio for my little baby, Amelie. So how you can join us is take that finger of power, spin it round, smash that subscribe button, and hit the bell notification over there. Now, rent caps, right? It's something that Sadiq Khan is talking about implementing potentially in London. And so how that would work is it would either be along the lines of whatever the rent is now, you can't increase it for a period of time, or in certain areas they'll say this is the maximum you can charge for a 1-bedroom property or a 2-bedroom property. Now, there are various problems with that because you might have someone that maybe you haven't put the rent up for a long time, and so they've got a good deal, but now you need to, right? Or potentially what's happening is because Scotland has already put these rental caps in place, Nicola Sturgeon has just implemented it, and what's happening is a lot of landlords are just taking properties off the market. It's just not interesting or valuable enough for them. At the end of the day, a landlord is a business. Now, they've got to provide a good service to get a good tenant, and both parties should be happy. But a landlord is a business, and if you're restricting the income that that business can make, then some people will just leave that market. Now, here's why the market is in a very difficult situation. And I would like you to listen to this, especially if you're going to flame me in the comments here, because I know I'm going to get some negative comments on this video for sure. But the reason why house prices are going up and they're out of control, and the reason that rents are going up, are 2 different things. Now, let's talk about why are house prices rising faster than ever? Well, the reason they're rising is because we've had low interest rates, which meant borrowing was historically cheaper than it's been for a long, long time. But more importantly, the reason the house prices are rising so quickly is we're not building enough houses. And it's very easy for the government to turn this on to landlords and blame landlords and say, it's your fault, you're the ones that are controlling the market. But the government has set out that they will build 300,000 houses a year. And this was years ago that they set this out. They only built 100,000. And so we're already about 1 million behind on that target. Now, if we have more new quality houses, a number of things are going to happen. One, they're going to be more eco-friendly, which is good, meaning the country would use less energy. That's an important thing at the moment, particularly with the energy crisis that we've got going on. 2, it means families would actually get decent space and they would actually be able to afford that property, because if there's more properties on a market, then the price will invariably come down. And that is one of the main reasons why property prices are going up. Now, the other reason that rents are going up is a number of things. And one is there's a lot of anti-landlord sentiment out there. And the government is putting a lot of difficult rules and regulations onto landlords. Probably the biggest one and the most impactful is something called Section 24. And so what that means is that you're not able to claim back all the costs of running your buy-to-let business. Now, that might, a lot of people will just say, well, tough. That's what it is for being a landlord. But I actually own a normal business. I own a coaching business, and I own an investment property business. And in my coaching business, as in any other business in the UK, you can claim back for all of your costs, right? So if you need to buy a marker pen, you can claim that off your cost. That's going to reduce your profit, isn't it? If you might have a phone that you use or a MacBook that I've got down here, right? These are costs to run a business. If you're a builder, if you buy bricks and sand and diesel, all of this stuff is costs. But landlords are being treated differently. And so what the government is saying is you must pay tax on the full income that you earn, and you can't take costs off if you run the business in your personal name. So that means that maybe you're a landlord and you're getting £1,000 rent, right? Now, you might be a higher tax rate earner at 50%, which is probably likely if you're a landlord, because maybe you've got other businesses and stuff like that. And so now the tenant pays you 500 in rent, right? That means that you're going to pay, what would normally have happened was the difference here. So you'd have got 500 rent off 1,000. No, sorry. £1,000 rent, and your mortgage was 500, you'd have made £500 gross profit before, right? And this is what you'd pay tax on. Now the problem is, you now pay tax on this number. You now pay, if you don't run it through a limited company, which is why the only way to invest now is through a limited company. Now, if you pay 50% tax on this, it means that your £500 profit, because your tax is 500, your mortgage is 500, it means you make a big fat zero, like actually zero. And so a lot of people have the perception that landlords are bad people, that they make lots of money. Where landlords often make more money is maybe in the capital appreciation. That's how a lot of landlords have made their money. Not so much the rent, not so much the rent. And so what the government needs to understand is, if you cap that and their costs are going up, so say you cap the rent and you say, right, you've got to cap your rent at £1,000, but here's the thing, now your interest rate is going up, so your mortgage is now going to be £600, you're going to be minus £100 to have that property. That now means that you're going to take it off the market or sell it, right? And that isn't good for anybody, because the tenant that lives in there will lose their property. It's not good for anyone if it suddenly becomes a non-rental property, because maybe someone needed to rent that. And landlords are taking stock in Scotland off the rental market because of rental caps. And I just think that you've got to let the market be a free market. The thing that is going to reduce rents for people, the thing that is going to make house prices not go up at such a crazy rate, is to build more houses. That's what needs to be done. That's what the government need to pull their finger out and figure out a plan on how to let developers get permission to build the properties that are needed. When people can have their own house, they can own it, they can feel accomplishment, and they will be much happier, and that will be good for the UK economy. Also, these councils will make more money because they'll have more people paying council tax as well. Let me know what you think on rent caps. I do think the comments are going to be an interesting one on this one, so I'd love to know your comments. Be respectful, guys. I'm giving it from a landlord's perspective, of course, but I just don't think that rental caps benefit anyone. If you pull all that stock off the market, or landlords are forced to not make any money, they're not going to do it, then you're not going to have enough properties. That isn't going to help you if you need to rent right now, which a lot of people do. Anyway, do check out my other videos. Do like this video, guys. That really, really helps me with YouTube, get more eyeballs on it. It'd be good whether you agree or disagree to get more eyeballs. I'm sure you would agree, because the more people that watch this, the more debate and conversation we can have about this, and that's a good thing too, right? And also, I'm going to be running a live event in central London very, very soon. And I want to invite you to come along as one of my VIPs. So in the description is a link. Fill in your details, guys, and get notified straight away when we have that first live event very soon. Thanks for watching. I'm James. Go and check out this video right here. Bye for now.